Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I always say this, but my kids are asleep in the back. So whenever this happens and they both fall asleep, I always sit here and think, I've got a bit of time now whilst they're sleeping, and I haven't got two humans calling mum to do a quick video. And I was talking last night, I think it was last night or maybe the night before, to my partner about how bad my psychosomatic pain used to be, and I still get it from time to time, but like it was absolutely relentless, so bad. And there's some really sad just stories of complete tragedy of people who have had like somatic symptom disorder. And it's, led them to some very dark places, because when you're living with a pain that no doctor can seem to get to the bottom of, and then you start to question yourself whether the pain is real or whether it's in your head, and nobody can really give you an answer at first. And that is, it's like slow torture, really, really difficult. And, for me, it was never like one symptom in particular. It was just basically anything that I was currently worried about. So for example, back when I was worried about bowel cancer, like the reason why I was worried about bowel cancer was because I was having a bit of blood when I went to the toilet, which I now know was just hemorrhoids. But back then I, convinced myself that it was bowel cancer. And I was researching and reading and reading all of the symptoms of bowel cancer. And, many of us would have had experience with this, but a couple of days later, I started to have the most excruciating stomach aches, all low down on the left. It was really difficult to manage. I was having the amount of pressure and pain that I was getting in my tailbone was just beyond. My bowel habits immediately changed. I was going to the toilet multiple times a day. Everything was all over the place, and I remember thinking to myself at this point, I really don't know like what's real and what's not, what is being conjured up by my brain, and what is a actual symptom due to an actual like a physiological problem. And that's hard, and it's hard for doctors too, to try and separate symptoms of disease and symptoms of like somatic symptom disorder. And the only way they kind of do that is by ruling out the serious things first, and then they're kind of left with, we know that it's not due to any kind of disease, so this is kind of what we're left with. And that can be frustrating, because you have this sense of feeling of, wow, my own brain has done this to me, and that can be quite difficult to manage and to deal with. And I've had loads. I mean, I could give off example of just times where I have had these strange, non-specific symptoms, so many pains and so many feelings of immense tension. The tension through my body was always one of the worst for me. I would hold it a lot in my jaw, and I just remember I got to a stage where the tension in my jaw was just horrendous, horrific. I was just constantly having bags of ice on my face. I was constantly blowing out my cheeks like this, because it was the only way that I could release some pressure. And because I was having so much tension in my jaw, my face was having spasms, I was twitching all over my face was tingling. And of course, the more that I got agitated by it, the worse that it got. And it got so bad, actually, that I could no longer talk, really. I talking was exhausting, physically exhausting. You know, I would talk and I'd be in agony afterwards, which is really difficult for a very extroverted, chatty person like myself. But it was horrific. That tension was really bad, you know, and I've had it in other areas of my body too. I remember back when I was convinced that I had ALS, and I was having a lot of cramps and twitches in my calf muscles, and my left calf in particular. Gosh, that tension, I just could not relax the muscle, and it was sore to touch. Felt like, you know, I had literally worked that muscle out so much, and it was horrible. You know, it was just somatic symptom disorder, or psychosomatic pain, or whatever you want to call it. You know, it's rough. It's rough when your body is doing things to you and you feel like you have no control. And I remember it, like I said, with the jaw tension. I just thought, how can I get this to stop? Because this is taking over my life now. I remember, you know, there was some very dark times that I had with that pain, where I just felt like I can't go on, like I can't do it. It was so painful. And there was nothing that really could be done for me, you know. And I don't usually talk about pain a lot here on my channel, mostly because I guess I don't like to trigger people too much. But I think it's like an important thing to talk about, because there's many people out there that have psychosomatic pain, and just they're dealing with it every day, you know. And who knows, you know, maybe, I mean, I don't say this in a disrespectful way at all, but I believe that a lot of illnesses today are a result of some kind of somatic symptom disorder, like fibromyalgia, for example. You know, it's like maybe we're just such stressed out individuals that we end up dealing with all of these crazy symptoms and all of these pains, you know, throughout our body that is really difficult to deal with. So yeah, I mean, I just thought I would oh, sorry, people jogging. I just thought I'd talk about it, because it's something I haven't really spoken about too much before on here. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have had experience with this, let me know. I'm hoping that my friend Kyron, I'm hoping that you see this, and that you can, maybe, if you feel comfortable, just share your story down below, because I know that is a fascinating one. I know that we've shared quite a few similarities in the sort of symptoms that we've had, and how we've felt, you know, about dealing with them, more so. But yeah, if you guys have had anything like this, and you know, you feel like you want to share below, please do. It's always good to know. I mean, nobody wants other people to suffer, I'd like to think, but it's good to know that there are other people that have had this, and that you know, you're not the only one. And you know, I'm at the other end of it now, where I don't really get these kind of pains anymore. I occasionally will get the jaw tension if I've had a couple of days of stress, or the kids have been unwell, or I haven't slept very well. But the great thing is that it does quickly go away within a couple of days, and I can manage that. It's kind of the long-term chronic pain and tension that is, you know, it's unbelievably difficult to deal with. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there and just share that little snippet of a part of my health anxiety that I haven't spoken about before. Hope, you know, you enjoyed listening, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.